guys, Travis here, and today I'm going to be talking about something that's been on my mind for a while. And I just saw recently Nia Jax is going to be out of action for an extended period of time. And to me, it's good news for the girls. I'm sure a lot of the girls in the locker room are breathing a sigh of relief for one very good reason. The longer that Nia is going to be out of action, the longer it's going to take for her to hurt somebody. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to be, I'm sure a lot of people out there agree with me about Nia. I'm not the kind of guy who says that somebody should be fired when they don't deserve to be, but there's got to be some kind of disciplinary action that Nia Jax needs to get, because there's just too many times now that she's ended up hurting people and shown just unprofessionalism, and she seems to continue to just get away with it again and again and again and again. And it's ridiculous to me. Everybody talks about, well, she's a big woman, and it's possible that people are going to get hurt. You know what? That don't cut no ice with me. That really don't cut the mustard with me. There's been many big wrestlers, female. I mean, Nia comes from a family of big wrestlers. I mean, she's from the Samoan dynasty, and most of them are men. It's only recently that the Samoan dynasty has been like huge, big, quote unquote fat guys. Yokozuna, Samu, Umaga, Rikishi. Just huge men. And the girls in the family that have gotten into wrestling are big too. I mean, Tamina is a very tall, very muscular woman, but Nia is a very, very big woman. But there's been so many big women in the history of wrestling that have never come anywhere near to the extent that Nia has when it comes to injuring her opponents, whether it be freak accidents or whether it be totally on purpose. I can name off God knows how many: Bull Nakano, Lady Tapa, Jessica Havoc, Bertha Faye back in the day, Awesome Kong, just so many, Aja Kong, just so many big wrestlers, big women wrestlers. And, over in Japan, where a lot of these big women have wrestled, somebody the size of, a Jessica Havoc or, somebody like that would take on somebody the size of Riho, who's barely even 4 feet tall and not even 100 pounds. I mean, and she's never been hurt. But Nia just seems to continue to hurt people again and again and again. And not only does it upset the fans and upset her opponents, it should upset the promoter. It should upset Vince. And it should upset Bruce Pritchard and everybody else who's involved, because Nia is continuing to cost them money. And I'm going to bring this up too. Even Nyla Rose, a transgender woman wrestling cisgender women in AEW, she's never hurt anyone. She's wrestled Rio twice. She's twice the size of Rio, and she's never hurt her. When there's ever been any opportunity, especially with the power moves, the power bombs, and everything else like that, never hurt her. There's only been one time when Nyla Rose has ever accidentally hurt somebody, and that was Britt Baker, and it wasn't even totally her fault. It was just a bad move, and it ended up breaking Britt's knee. But it just seems that Nia just keeps doing it again and again and again, just totally ridiculously hurting people without any just cause. And she continues to get away with it. I mean, I can name off so many times. Kairi Sane, this was during the height of the pandemic back last year, and Nia literally had her grabbed her by the throat, had her up, And you could literally hear Kyrie, because there was nobody in the crowd. It was in the performance center. You could hear her say, "No, Nia, I'm not set," and it just chucks her as hard as she could into the corner. There's been time, and it's not, Charlotte. She's hurt Charlotte before. She's hurt Bayley. She's hurt Becky Lynch. She's continually hurt everybody. I mean, she hurt Mandy Rose, dislocated her shoulder. But it's not just these in the daily match, the everyday match that she's hurt. I mean, most recently she got into literally, a cat fight with Charlotte on live TV, which was totally unprofessional. Obviously, she did something stiff that she didn't tell Charlotte she was going to do. Charlotte didn't appreciate it, and Charlotte gave her a receipt. And then one thing you know, they started going at each other on live TV, and everybody watched it. It's like, what the fuck is this? What are you doing? That right there, that would have, the match ended abruptly. I'm pretty sure that when she got through the curtain, nothing was said to her, because nothing has ever been said to her. If that was me, I would have been like, what the fuck was that? And, slap her with a fine at least. But it's not just that. It's not just the Monday Night Raws or the SmackDowns, but she constantly has cost the WWE pay-per-view money. You see, it would be different if Nia was in the title picture during the feud, if she was during a feud with the people that was going for the title. She hurt Bayley one time, and it dislocated her elbow or her shoulder or whatever it was in a match. And Bayley was supposed to go for the women's title against either Charlotte or Alexa Bliss. And the match had to be scrapped or changed at the last minute because Nia Jax hurt Bayley. And then, to top that out, to me as a fan, if I'm going to buy a pay-per-view knowing that I want to see Bayley wrestle Charlotte and beat Charlotte or Alexa Bliss, who were the top two heels at the time, and Bayley was the bubblegum chewing all-American girl kind of wrestler that the little kids loved, especially the little girls. They want to look up to Bayley. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to spend my hard-earned money to watch this pay-per-view solely because my kid wants to watch that match. And then all of a sudden, that match is not going to happen because Nia Jax ruined it for my kid. So that's money wasted down the tubes. And that's pay-per-view buys that the WWE are not going to get back. And during this time now, when AEW is slowly creeping up on them again and again and again, and their television productions are going down the tubes, they need those pay-per-view buys. But what was really bad, and what really should have put the brakes on everything right then and there, and what should, in my opinion, should have been the one time too many that Nia Jax has hurt somebody, was the go-home show on SmackDown, which was the Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series the year before that NXT got involved, where it was supposed to be the armbar versus the armbar. It was supposed to be the Raw Women's Champion against the SmackDown Women's Champion. It was supposed to be the dream match that we all wanted to see because these two have been trash-talking each other, not just on screen, but off the screen. It was supposed to be Ronda Rousey against Becky Lynch for the title. We wanted to see who had the best armbar, who was the better fighter, who was the better wrestler, and it was 2 weeks before Survivor Series. Everybody wanted to see it. Everybody wanted to see it. It was supposed to be champion versus champion. That was the whole thing. During a row where the SmackDown crew was fighting off the Raw crew, there was a spot where Becky literally touched Nia on the shoulder to spin her around. Nia literally comes out of nowhere without a work, not even working. And you think, where she comes from the Samoan family, you would learn how to freaking work. But she comes out of nowhere, closed fist, wham! Full punch right in Becky Lynch's face. Becky goes down, she gets back up, her nose is broke, her eye is starting to swell shut, she's bleeding like you wouldn't believe, and that's when I was like, oh shit, there goes the pay-per-view. Because I knew right then and there something was going to happen. Either they were not going to clear her because she had a broken nose, and not only did that, she had a broken nose, so they couldn't clear her for that, and then she realized she had a concussion. So the big pay-per-view dream match that everybody wanted to see just went down the tubes. WWE cost it more money because of Nia Jax, who was selfish, who did not know how to work, who flat out close fist somebody in the face recklessly again and again. So to me, that would have been like, you're gone. Forget it. That's over. You're done. You just flat out ruined my pay-per-view. You flat out cost me money. You flat out literally injured somebody by punching him in the face. You would think that that would have been it. No. The next week, what did they do? They made a gimmick out of it. They told Nia, use that as your gimmick. The power to punch. That you can break people's faces with one punch. To me, that's reward. To me, that's rewarding. Better terms, a fuck up. That is rewarding somebody who screwed up so bad. That's saying that you can get away with anything. If that was me, if I was Vince, I would have took Nia aside and said, listen, you got two choices. Either you go learn how to work or you're gone. And I would have been able to sleep at night because knowing that every single time I'm in the gorilla position and I'm watching a match, I'm thinking, please don't hurt somebody. Please don't hurt somebody. And how many people has she hurt? She hurt Kairi Sane. She hurt Becky Lynch. She hurt Mandy Rose. She hurt Bayley twice. She hurt Charlotte. You know, there needs to be enough is enough. Enough is enough, WWE. You know what? I'm sure Nia is a sweet person outside the ring. But inside the ring, she's the most unprofessional and most dangerous worker that you have. Forget New Jack. Forget New Jack. The New Jack was a totally different thing altogether. And forget about Nyla Rose, because I know there's going to be a lot of transphobe, homophobic keyboard warriors that are going to be on this video saying, oh, she's a man, like all that. You know what? If you can't distinguish, yeah, it's a worked fight. Nia, it's a worked fight. You don't have to literally hurt people because you don't know how to work. So this is coming from a martial artist, a wrestler, who knows how to fall, who knows how to do all those things in his own way. Because I've been trained in mixed martial arts, I've been trained in jiu-jitsu and learning how to fall and learning how to... The one thing when I was always sparring with people is that I try my best not to hurt anybody. Because then I start running out of sparring partners. So, my message to the WWE is, do your female roster a favor. Please release Nia Jax. I think she's cost you enough money as it is, don't you? And she's already broken too many pretty faces. And too many pretty faces that are broken is also going to break the wallet. I'm Travis Walsh, and that's the way it is.